Hello and welcome everybody. My name is Rose Smith from AbsoluteSoulSecrets.com and welcome to my video. I thought I'd do this because there is a lot of attention in the media at the moment because people are saying that Trump is going to declare a Republican win on the night or soon after of the election. And of course that's just not possible because there over 90 million votes that have been done by post and they need to be counted. Many of the states don't even begin counting until election day. So I thought I'd have a look in the cards and see what the cards have to say about this red mirage. That's what people are calling it, a red mirage, okay? So if you are new, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. Okay, so let's go to the main board and see what the board and the cards have to say. Okay, I like to do this a little bit differently. I have clairvoyant vision before I actually turn the cards over. So we'll do a 5-card spread. We can imagine that this is week by week, okay, week by week, and a couple of days here at the end of November. All right, card number 1, or the first week, if you like to think of it that way. Okay, the first week of November, which is right now. In Australia, it is the 3rd of November today. Okay, just looking for the right card to start us off. I'm going with that one. Closing my eyes now. What do I see around the red mirage and Trump declaring victory on the night or soon after? Okay, like the next couple of days before the votes are counted. Yes, well, I'm in this huge sort of stadium, and there's a little door right down the bottom and it's opening up. It's sort of blue in here. The colour is blue in this stadium, and this door opens up and a few people sort of come in. That says to me that yes, the reality, the real reality, the spiritual reality is blue. Okay, so that would be the Democrats. And then there is an opening. Maybe there's a call. Maybe people are asking Trump to do this. His supporters are calling for a declaration that that he has won. I just see the people walking into the blue area, and right, they've got signs and placards. Yes, so yeah, there's a call for it. Let's see what the card says at the Tower. So Tower is usually the end of a situation. It's in spirit, it's already reality, it's already happened. So they can call for, you know, Trump to declare a win even if the votes are not counted as much as they like. However, in spirit, it's already happening. Now, spirit is the first energy because it's the most subtle energy. It's the first energy to manifest. And then the mental energy, emotional energy, and finally the physical. So for those votes to be counted, that will be a long way down the spiritual process because it has to manifest in physical reality, the win that is already there. The stadium is blue, okay? Tower is, usually they say it's unpredictable, but if you've got any kind of sensitivity, psychic ability or intuition, this third eye in the sky of mind will tell you that it is predictable. It's a very Uranian influence, so unconscious people don't necessarily pick up the spiritual reality. They're picking up a reality, but not actually what is truly happening in the higher levels of spirit. And the third eye, if you have this open, you'll know, your intuition will tell you if somebody's lying to you, okay? And so it's the end of the era. Sometimes this can be quite traumatic for people, the Tower card, and it brings up a lot of emotions to deal with, and it can be quite sudden and shocking and hard to believe. It's things like a sudden divorce or the sudden ending of a relationship as well. That card literally fell out. I was just about to shuffle them up. I don't do reverse cards, but it's fallen out reverse. So who knows how that is possible. This is actually the Hermit card reversed. I don't know, but that's what just happened. So, okay, so normally with the Hermit, it definitely means you're going to be alone and isolated. When it's upright, it normally means that you're going off to learn, you're going to a spiritual, sacred sort of inner sanctum and spending time in meditation. When it's reversed, it's a case of loneliness being forced upon you, completely being abandoned by people. This has actually come up in my last video about the election, but because I don't do reverse, it was upright, but it's fallen that way. So this indicates total abandonment and loss, and it's just that heart-wrenching feeling of disappointment and betrayal, even betrayal with this. It's like, I feel like this defeat that Trump is going to suffer is going to be bitterly contested, and it will be particularly awful. Trump has come out just yesterday again. He did infer previously that he would be calling his lawyers in if the election didn't go his way, but yesterday I actually heard him say it. People were saying here on my channel at one point, Trump never said that. Well, actually I heard it, and he said it again yesterday at a rally, and he said he's got his lawyers already lined up. And we have seen, if you've paid attention to the news, we have seen that they've been hiring hundreds of lawyers, first to deal with the Mueller probe, and there's been several tranches of lawyers that have been hired over the last 2 years. So they're the lawyers he'll be using. So there you go. He's going to contest the election if it doesn't go his way. If perchance it looks like it's going his way, he initially he'll say, you know, yes, this is right, we're winning. The Democrats are winning. If it looks like on the day that they're winning, then he'll be saying, well, let's wait and see. All the votes aren't in yet. So he's going to spin it either way. But whichever, whatever, you know, by the end of November, early December, I think all of the litigation will be dealt with and thrown out. The courts will want to deal with it very quickly. They won't be dilly-dallying because, of course, in January, 20th of January is the actual official term that is set down by the US Constitution, that his presidency ends on the 20th of January. So the courts will want to deal with it very, very quickly. Let's go with that card there. And I'm closing my eyes now. What do I see? I see a party, but it's upside down. So all this reversal thing going on, celebrations upside down. So just think about what the opposite of celebrations would be. Condolences, commiserations, the wake at a funeral. You know, that really crushing sort of feeling when somebody dies is what I'm seeing. The card that comes up is the Page of Wands. Okay, so this is, the Page of Wands is usually like a very motivating card because Wands are fiery, passionate energy. Pages typically bring news. Often they bring good news. They bring growth. Something just happened to the door. So someone's trying to break in. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you heard that noise. Growth, expansion, and wanting to take action, okay? A lot of talking going on, a lot of communication, okay? So this is like really expressing yourself. These are the chakras opening up. Sometimes it indicates travel, but I don't think so in this case. I feel like it's the chakras opening up. And I feel like a whole lot of awful stuff is going to come out. This is like Pandora's box, you know, that old legend. And somebody opens the box and then all of the demons and horrors of the underworld spew out into the physical world. Okay, so I feel like there's a lot of fighting, arguments, disagreements, perhaps even violence. Okay, so this is like ready to do business. this card. Very motivated. Okay, so let's have a look at number 4. 4th week of the month. Okay, 4th week of the month. Okay, there's too many cards there to read, but I'm just going to read that top one, which is the 4 of Swords, which is exhaustion. Okay, Trump and his team and the GOP are exhausted. Maybe we're all exhausted too from hearing about it going on and on and on, but it won't go on indefinitely, okay? This could indicate a health problem too. If rest and relaxation is not undertaken, there could be some dramatic health problem occur with this card. Swords is usually about your mental thoughts, and it's just too many racing thoughts and too much going on in the mind. It's almost like mania, you know, and all this mania has been driving, and then there's collapse or something like that, exhaustion or collapse. Let's look at the last few days of the month, and I'll be very careful so that the cards don't jump out. Normally they don't jump out so much, but this reading and the one I did previously, which was predicting Biden as president, the cards were jumping out all over the show. Okay, so let's go with that card there. And closing my eyes now, what do I see about Trump declaring a GOP win on the night or soon after the election before all the votes are counted? Okay, there's something going around and round in circles here. I was going to say, you know when you die, but you probably don't, but I actually do. When you die, you go up in this tunnel, and there's like these sort of clouds and swirling clouds. You come out of like the crown chakra and just go straight up into this tunnel of light with this swirling clouds around, and that's what I'm seeing right now. It means death, you know. In one way, it's the end of something, and in another way, it's the beginning of a new life, okay? Now I'm in an aircraft flying again. I'm in clouds. Clouds are always confusion and chaos, inability to see the picture clearly, okay? And I feel like some people just can't accept what the reality is, and they're not seeing the picture clearly. And that is perhaps Trump himself, okay? He's not seeing the picture clearly, and his even some of his team are still holding out hope that the court is going to go their way, because they stacked the court. Obviously, you know, putting in Amy Coney Barrett, the card that comes up is the 5 of Wands. This is definite conflict, and you'll see the fiery energy here coming out of the hand, okay? 5 can be disappointment also, and it can be creativity, but a lot of baseball bats here. But they were actually alight, and I don't know if you can see this, and I've never actually said this before, but I see it now. I didn't see it before. There's actually smoke coming out of the top of each one. So they were actually alight, and now they've gone out. And that means the fire is going out. So it's in a process of decline, but the fight is going out. So it's calming down, and I feel like the GOP have accepted what is happening. Back here, some people already accepted it, but you had some diehards that were spurring Trump on with the litigation and that sort of thing, because there's abandonment issues back here. But there's still a core team that is helping Trump and encouraging Trump till we get to this point, and then it's in decline. So we haven't got a major there, so because this is so important, I'll look for another card just to try and get a major card if it comes out in December. Yeah, well, there you go. I don't even get to close my eyes much. Stick around, I'll do a channeling at the end. The Devil card. Okay, domination, submission, addiction. Okay, you got to wonder, with all of this going on, what drugs people are on. Seriously, it's just a matter of looking at the facts, okay? go and look up, for example, with COVID, go and look up at the figures on the CDC website. That is Trump's website. That guy Redfield in charge, Trump put him into power, and he was so minimising COVID at the beginning. Lately he's come out with a few stronger statements, but for months and months, that Redfield, he was minimising COVID every opportunity he got. And look at their figures, okay? And that's Trump's man. And their figures are behind. They are not putting all of the figures on their website, but at least it gives you an idea, okay? It's damning. The number of people that are dying is over 230,000 dead. There's 100,000 new cases a day. There's over 1,000 dead a day. And people have the audacity to compare this illness to the flu. It is not the flu. There's something wrong if the flu was killing so many people. You know that in Australia, the flu usually kills between 400 and 1,000 people a year in Australia. We had one bad year a couple of years ago, it killed 1,200. So, you know, it's not huge numbers. This year we've had hardly... I actually read an article that said that we've got no flu in Australia at the moment because of the lockdowns. So this card here, the devil, brings up every fear, every anxiety, pushes people into drugs, you know, pushes people into domination and trying to subjugate other people, you know. So that is a major arcana, and that is the end. This releases all of the fears that the GOP have had about losing the election. They're really a spent party. I must do a video on this, a reading on this, but in my opinion, without even looking at it psychically, which I haven't yet, they're a spent force. And they haven't kept up with the times. The ideas of the American people are really quite liberal in nature. They're more in line with other countries such as Australia and European countries, the ideas of the average person, but the GOP haven't kept up with that. So they persist with this suppression of the vote, with this treating people of colour as second-class citizens, with this idea of making the wealthy wealthier and the poor poorer. Even the middle classes are being forced out of, you know, what they normally earn and into lower paid jobs, or alternatively, the price of living has gone up so high that even if they earn good money, they're still struggling. So middle classes are all, you know, going down to working class status. Working class are now the working poor. This is absolutely atrocious. And the poverty rate in America is in the 40s, depending on you know, what you read, but it's in the 44 to 49% range of the population. They're either on the poverty line, just above the poverty line, or below the poverty line. Just absolutely appalling. The wealthiest country in the world has so many poor people. How is that possible? Because the rich are systematically favoured at every point, even with the tax cuts recently that Trump okayed. Middle class got some tax cuts, yeah, sure, but the wealthy got the biggest benefit, okay? So I'll get off my high horse, but like, it's pretty clear to me that, you know, any proclamations made on the day of the election or soon after are not going to stand, that there's some sort of collapse here. Trump really needs, I mean, I've been saying this for how long? For over a year. Trump really needs to watch his health. Actually, since 2018, where I appeared on several TV shows and said that Trump's health was bad, and he really needs to watch his health. Well, here it is again here, and you'll see this terrible routing that occurs on maybe the next day. So that'll be Thursday in Australia, Wednesday in the US. And those of you who are in Australia who have been following the Queensland elections, you'll note my prediction of Anastasia Palaszczuk winning the election. And as time goes on, the margin has been increased. She has routed the opposition, the LNP, absolutely routed them. She closed our borders and she saved the lives of Queenslanders, and like her or hate her, whichever, you can't disagree with the fact that she has saved people's lives. So that's what, you know, America needs to be doing. Locking down, social distancing where they're not locked down, wearing masks, washing hands, take vitamin D. That is a really good boost to your immune system. But let's have a look now. They're the cards, so that's that. I'm going to close my eyes now and see what I can see about Trump declaring victory on election day. What do I see about that? The door is opening up in front of me. It's a black door, very dark charcoal grey, with a really old-fashioned key and a lock. It has been locked. Now it's being unlocked. I can see the key actually sort of turning in the door. Okay, it's a cupboard. The door opens up and the cupboard is bare. So this could mean either two things. There's no substance in what he says because there's nothing in the cupboard, or no, I think that's what it means. The cupboard is bare. So it's this big lot of talk, but there's no substance in it. Okay. Walk away empty-handed. I see a person with a key in their hand. They walk away, and because there's nothing in the cupboard. So, you know, okay, what else do I see around the US election? Okay, so they just close the cupboard and walk away. People, as soon as the election happens, GOP are going to be like rats jumping off a sinking ship. They're going to start abandoning Trump immediately, okay? And they'll be distancing themselves as much as they possibly can. Okay, this is it. I don't know that this is to do with the election. I see a rocket taking off. It says USA. Something about the space race. This might be a beneficial after effect of Trump's presidency. I do see America continuing with their plans to go to Mars and go back to the moon, and generally increasing the budget for the space race. I think there is some concern of other countries. There's, you know, maybe Russia, maybe European countries, China, for example. There's concern about these other countries getting the jump on the US. So that is a benefit that is coming out of Trump's policies or presidency, I should say. Yeah, I should say that. There's a great big wave here in front of me. It is an ocean wave. It's a blue wave, okay? So I don't know about this so-called red wave, but I see a blue wave here. It's like a tsunami, and unfortunately it is going to take some people out. So they could be feeling overwhelmed. They could be extremely disappointed. If this is you, maybe get some rescue remedy. Like if you're a real diehard Trump supporter and you're going to be disappointed if he loses, get some rescue remedy. Or maybe if you can in the US, Google Australian bushflower essences. I take them myself and they're very good. So if you have anxiety or disappointment, it just takes the edge off it. So, you know, you're not rolling around on the floor in being overwhelmed by emotions, basically. Okay, anything else about, okay, what is this? People being rolled out in wheelchairs. Oh, okay, maybe this is old age homes, people voting, okay, and they're in wheelchairs and even in hospital beds voting. The turnout is huge. We already know that. There's over 90 million. So over 68% of the number of people who voted in 2016 have already voted, okay? And that is the reason why we will not know on the day for sure who wins the election, because the postals have to be counted. Okay, so that's all, my dear friends. Please leave your likes and dislikes, your comments, whatever they may be. I mean, if they're rude, I'm going to delete them. And the other issue you must consider is that I'm an Australian and we have laws around defamation. If you start saying stupid things like so-and-so's a pedophile, or all that kind of rubbish, that conspiracy rubbish, you're on the wrong channel. I'm growing this channel, but I only really want subscribers that are on spiritual path. Yes, you can disagree with me. Go ahead and disagree. But be respectful. If you're not respectful, then go somewhere else. That's really how it is, you know. This is not this is a business. This is one business. YouTube is a business that I have, but it doesn't really matter whether, you know, I lose subscribers because you don't like my point of view. One thing you must say, if you've been following me, is that I'm fair about Trump. When I see something positive about Trump, I will say, okay, and I've done that in the past. When I do the Trump report, he's had some months that have been really good, and I've reported exactly what I see in spirit every time, whether I agree or I don't like it. Too bad. I'll just say what I see. So, you know, if you want the truth, then come to me. If you want me to tell you what you want to hear, don't even subscribe. You know, honestly, you know, that's not what it's about. When I die, I don't want to have any regrets, okay? I want to be fully responsible for every single thing I've said. So, you know, go somewhere else if you just want to hear namby-pamby fantasy stuff, because that's not me, okay? All right, I'll get off my my high horse and my ranting now. I know this is a huge week. Please take care of yourself, you know. If you feel like it's too much, turn off all your devices and go for a walk in the forest or at the beach or somewhere where there's nature. You know, if you get out and get some life force into you that way. If you can go to a waterfall, that would be really good too. If you can go to a meditation group, or if you're a Christian, go to a church. But try and stay calm. Don't let the evil win. The darkness is there. I've seen it. And then it's just portrayed in the cards here right at the end. Okay, the darkness is there. So if you get fearful, you know, you can leave me a comment and I'll answer your comment. Okay, try not to worry. All of this is part of the cycle to get rid of the past, to get, you know, to improve things. We're going into a new era now and the world is turning the corner. It's not just like, oh, we're turning the corner on the virus. That's got a long way to go. The world is turning the corner, okay? And there's a definite move now, a movement towards people caring about each other, being kind, regardless of the colour of the skin, regardless of religion, regardless of whether you're male or female or some other gender, okay? All right, thanks very much for listening. If you're new, please consider subscribing to my channel and hit that notification bell right now. I'll be, you know, back and forth election day. Well, you know, I might come in and report on something I see or something like that. I might probably have a dream actually about it. All right, have a good day and bye for now. Thanks so much for watching. Please visit my website, absolutesoulsecrets.com, for all things spiritual. Have a lovely day.